I wanted to give a big thank you. I neglected to thank this time the founder and supporter of all of what we do here film-wise here at the JCC, which is Ms. Carole Zabar, who's here with us tonight. Rotem, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
I have a lot of questions, some personal, some more general. Let me start. In your opinion, this world that we saw, is this a reality in Israel, in Eretz HaKodesh?
No, it's just a small story of a small person. I mean, I believe that there are stories like this, but it's very extremely. It's still a movie. And it's not something that you often see in the streets or something that you hear here and there, you know, about situation like this. But no, I never heard of someone in person.
You were not big in the club scene in wherever this is supposed to be, in the outskirts of Tel Aviv?
I used to be.
Now, for those who, I mentioned it briefly, I think at the beginning, Maurice Cohen, who is the star, and Rotem are married in real life.
Yeah, he's my husband.
You were wondering about the fabulous chemistry between them.
So if you have questions for him, I can answer, because I know all of the answers. And usually I'm giving him the answers, so I really know the answers.
He knew. He said, "Send my wife. Send my wife. She does the talking for us both." Let me talk about the director for a minute. Meni Yaish, and you've worked with him on his other feature film. He has a very unique style, clearly. Can you talk about how it's different working with him? Where is it different? How he manages to accomplish this unique style?
Well, first of all, Manny, he's not a director for me. He's like a big brother that makes film. This is what he do. He's calling me. I wrote the script. Can you come and read it to see if you like it or not? And it's very warm feeling. The rehearsals, either in his house or in our house, talking, not like digging into the words of the script. It's like talking about the film, about the environment, how we're gonna feel, what we're gonna do. I'm usually making food and we're eating and talking, and it's very warm feeling. I hope this is what's going through the screen.
He practices some of the fight moves with you. Does that happen, or that's more with Maurice?
Actually, I'm very good in action film. I used to kickboxing and doing some karate, so I'm good. But no, Maurice practiced very hard for this film in our yard in Tel Aviv. Like 3 times a week, someone came and they were kicking each other. And then again, I used to make lunch for them, or a very protein shake afterwards. Yeah, so.
And Maurice, he's unbelievable in this role. I think a round of applause for Maurice. What a. Tell him, send those over to him. But he's really how did he connect to that character?
Well, first of all, we weren't parents at the time, and I think that the main thing that Ovadia wants is to be a father. So Maurice also wanted to be a father, so that's it.
Rotem's here with her 8-month-old.
Yeah.
If you hear any screaming outside.
She's outside, and maybe she's screaming. I don't know.
It's her bedtime. It's her bedtime.
Yeah.
She misses her daddy.
She's jet lagging.
And where did you connect with your character? What part of you was there?
The same. I wanted to be a mother, and it took us a while to become parents. And I don't know. She reminds me of Miri from God's Neighbors. She's someone from the hood, very simple woman, nothing, just the will of one to become a mother. That's what moved me in this film. Everything else was very, very clear.
My one last question before we open it to a couple questions from the audience is religion in both films. Many plays with religion a lot. Why is that so important for him to bring in there?
Because it's important to him. He's a Shomer Shabbat, and he learns, and he into it. He has a group in Bat Yam that learns. He and Maurice doing lessons together. He's a big believer.
I forgot he's from Bat Yam, which is kind of a rough town, I'd say, in
Yeah,
south
this
of
is the
Tel Aviv.
conflict. I mean, from one side is the faith and the gatherhood and being together, everyone, and on the other hand is the kicking and the childish place of him. So
Fascinating. I'd love to see if there's any questions or comments from the audience, thoughts. We have one all the way up there, or we got one over here in the meantime, Yara. First, Sabrina won the race.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's such a fantastic, captivating story. I was holding on to my seat. But it's a real universal story. It can happen in Miami. It can happen in Tokyo. The only thing is different is the Jewish angle. But I'm sure that even there, some Cuban can go to his priest. And how do you feel it's a unique Israeli story? Or what is Israeli about it?
first of all, I think that what's unique about this film that he was made in Israel. And we are Israeli, but humans are humans, and the subjects are the same. I mean, the same will of wanted to become a parents also can be here and all over the world. It's a very natural thing. So everyone can be related to this subject. But beside that, I think that having faith, you don't have to be Jewish or a Muslim or a Christian to have faith. You can just have faith, to believe in something. The only thing that I can relate to, that I'm Jewish. I was born in Israel, and I'm an Israeli actress. And many also he can create from his point of view, and yeah, it's a film that totally can be global. Maybe we can do a remake here.
But we're seeing this a lot in Israeli cinema, that the stories are universal, the details are specific to Israel, and this one, the details, every bit of it from, I mean, you could say just the language, but even, I don't know, his moving truck is so specifically, a certain style of moving truck that doesn't exist in Brooklyn, even though there are plenty of Israeli movers in Brooklyn. I will also add on that, of course, and I don't know how many of you follow the social news closely in Israel, but yes, there is a lot of gangs and crime. It's not the majority. It's not. This is one story, but you do hear these stories of shootouts in different places in Bat Yam and other places in Israel. I was thinking about how, one of the things you think, Israel used to be such an innocent country, and the cocaine scene in this film is, makes it seem like New York. And the truth is, if you follow the news, there's a cocaine problem in Israel too, with parts of youth. I guess that's what happens when money comes into a certain country.
Yeah, or the will to become New York.
There's better things to learn. Up there, we have a question.
Thank you. It was very, very, interesting. The movie I found to be very engaging. One of the things that struck me was I felt like I was not watching a Hollywood version of this kind of movie, because the character, Ovadia, I felt had a nobility of kind of a macho male version, maybe a Clint Eastwood type of character. He was very virile. He was very capable of almost a martial arts talent that could have easily been aggressive towards those who were victimizing him in the end, and including his wife. And I wondered whether there was any discussion of whether he would seek retribution towards those who had finally victimized him and forced him to do something totally contrary to what his inclinations were, and as if the movie had never let us know whether he was going to go on working for the people who had killed the people he had chosen to be loyal to, or whether he was going to look towards retribution. Had anyone had any idea how this character was going to live out a further part of his life if the film had
Sir, your time is up. that was a pretty long question. That if she asks me, what did you just say? I'd say, I don't know.
No, I don't know, maybe in Avinu's time you'll know the answer. I don't know. Yeah, but it is not.
We have
an
time for one
American
last
film.
question down here.
Hello? Okay. I thought it was really interesting how the film sort of mentioned and went out of its way to point out the sort of like ethnicities at various points. Like you have like the very Russian mover with the heavy accent. You have the Arab guard scene at the end, which they took a couple of minutes on. The one sort of crime family is Ashkenazi. The other one is Mizrahi. So these things were kind of like hinted at the movie, but they weren't given prominence. Why do you think maybe the director took like those couple of minutes to point out like the, you know, all the different things here and there, like the different backgrounds of the groups in the movie?
Well, it's like that. It's not something that he made out. It's like that. In his group, you can see everyone. Manny has a group in his life, lots of friends. And there's the Russian guy and the Mizrahi and the Ashkenaz one. So everyone, I don't know. I think that there was a thought about taking the Shalom, the main gangster, to be Ashkenaz. I don't know. I like that because usually in film in Israel they took the Mizrahi to be the gangster, like the Italian one. But no, he was Ashkenaz, and there are Ashkenaz.
Rotem, thank you. Well, we'll continue the conversation upstairs over some cookies and wine.
Okay.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank you for joining us.